Sometimes the smallest moments reveal the biggest truths about a relationship. Sometimes it's not the grand gestures that matter, but the everyday acts of partnership. This is the story of how $10 showed me exactly who I married. My name is Jessica, and I'm 28 years old. I'm also 20 weeks pregnant with my first baby. And yesterday, my husband charged me money to help me lift something while I'm carrying his child. Let me explain how we got here. I've been married to Ryan for 3 years. We met when I was 23. He was 26. We dated for a year before getting engaged. Ryan seemed great at first, charming, funny. He had a good job, treated me well, all the things you look for in a partner. My family liked him. My dad said he seemed like a solid guy. My brother thought he was cool. We got married in a small ceremony. Nothing fancy, just family and close friends. The first year of marriage was good. We were still in that honeymoon phase. Everything felt easy. But slowly, things started changing. Little things at first. Ryan would complain about doing household chores, say he was too tired after work, leave dishes in the sink for me to clean. I brushed it off. Everyone has lazy days. Marriage is about compromise. Then bigger things started happening. Ryan would keep track of money in weird ways. If I asked him to pick up groceries, he'd save the receipt and ask me to pay him back for my half. We should split things evenly, he'd say. That's fair. At first, I agreed. We both worked, we both earned money. Splitting expenses made sense. But it started feeling less like partnership and more like roommates keeping score. If we ordered pizza, he'd calculate exactly how many slices I ate versus how many he ate. Then tell me I owed him $3 more because I had an extra slice. If we went out to dinner, he'd want to split the bill down to the cent, even if he'd ordered an expensive steak and I'd gotten a salad. Fair is fair, he'd always say. My friends thought it was weird. My sister said it was a red flag. But I defended him, said he just liked things organized, that he was being practical. Then I got pregnant. We'd been trying for a few months. When the test came back positive, I was thrilled. Ryan seemed happy too. At first, but then the pregnancy symptoms started. The nausea, the exhaustion, the aches and pains. And Ryan didn't step up. Not the way I expected. I'd ask him to help with laundry because I was too tired. He'd sigh heavily, act like I was asking him to climb a mountain. I'd ask him to cook dinner because the smell of raw meat made me nauseous. He'd order takeout and ask me to Venmo him for my half. My half. While I was growing his child, I started noticing things. Comparing Ryan to the men in my family, my dad has been married to my mom for 35 years. He's never once asked her to pay him back for helping around the house. When my mom was pregnant with me and my siblings, Dad did everything. Cooked, cleaned, took care of her without being asked. My brother is the same way. He's married with 2 kids. I've never once heard him complain about helping his wife. When she was pregnant, he waited on her hand and foot, drove her to every appointment, did all the heavy lifting without hesitation. That's what partnership looks like. That's what I thought I'd have with Ryan. But I was wrong. Yesterday, everything came to a head. I've been selling things online to make extra money for the baby. Clothes I don't wear anymore, furniture we don't need, small things. I'd sold an old bookshelf a few days earlier. Someone was coming to pick it up yesterday afternoon. The bookshelf was in our spare room. It was heavy, probably 60 or 70 pounds. I'm 20 weeks pregnant. My doctor told me not to lift anything heavy, said it could cause complications. So I asked Ryan to help me move the bookshelf from the spare room to the front door so the buyer could pick it up easily. Can you help me move this? I asked. Ryan was on the couch watching TV. He sighed. That heavy, annoyed sigh I'd come to know so well. Right now? Yeah, they're coming in an hour. Another sigh. He stood up slowly, made a big show of how inconvenienced he was. We carried the bookshelf together. Well, he carried most of it. I just steadied one end. It took maybe 5 minutes total. The buyer came, paid me $40, left with the bookshelf. I was putting the money in my wallet when Ryan held out his hand. What? I asked. My cut, for helping you move it. I thought he was joking, laughed a little. But his face was serious. I'm not joking, I helped you. I should get paid for my time. My stomach dropped. You want me to pay you for helping your pregnant wife move something? I didn't want to do it. I was watching my show. But I helped anyway. So yeah, I think $10 is fair. I stared at him, waiting for him to smile, to say he was kidding. He didn't. You're serious. Dead serious. $10. That's reasonable. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but I was too shocked to argue. I pulled out $10, handed it to him. He took it without hesitation, put it in his pocket, went back to the couch. I stood there in the hallway, holding my remaining $30, feeling like I'd been punched in the gut. This was my husband, the father of my baby, and he'd just charged me for 5 minutes of help. I went to our bedroom, closed the door, sat on the bed. I didn't cry. I was too angry to cry. I thought about my dad, about my brother, about every man I knew who would never, ever do something like this. And I thought about my future, about raising a baby with someone who viewed our partnership as a transaction. That night, I barely spoke to Ryan. He didn't seem to notice. This morning, I woke up with a plan. I'd found a used toilet online yesterday. We needed to replace ours. The old one was constantly running, wasting water. The used toilet was in good condition, only $20. I'd already arranged to pick it up today, but I needed help loading it into the car and carrying it into our house. I went to Ryan. He was eating breakfast. "Can you help me pick up something today?" I asked. "What is it?" "A toilet. For the bathroom." Ryan didn't even look up from his phone. "Maybe tomorrow. I'm tired today." "It'll only take an hour. The person is only available today." "Then I guess you'll have to reschedule." No explanation, no apology, just no. I felt that anger from yesterday come flooding back. "Okay," I said calmly. "No problem." I went to my room, called my brother-in-law, Mike. He's married to my sister. "Hey, Mike, are you busy today?" "Not really. What's up?" "I need help picking up a toilet. Ryan's busy. Can you help me?" "Of course. Give me 20 minutes. 20 minutes. That's all it took for Mike to say yes. No hesitation, no conditions. Just yes. Mike showed up exactly when he said he would. We drove to pick up the toilet. The seller helped us load it into Mike's truck. We drove back to my house. Mike carried the toilet into the garage, by himself. Didn't ask me to help because I'm pregnant. "You need help installing it?" he asked. "No, we'll figure it out. Thank you so much." "Anytime. That's what family's for." He hugged me, drove away. I went inside. Ryan was on the couch, taking a nap. A nap, while I was out picking up a toilet with my brother-in-law because my husband was too tired. I stood there watching him sleep, feeling something shift inside me. This wasn't partnership. This wasn't marriage. This was me doing everything while Ryan did the bare minimum. I walked over, nudged his shoulder. "Ryan, wake up." He opened his eyes slowly, annoyed at being woken up. "What?" "I have a question for you." "Can it wait? I'm sleeping." "No, it can't." He sat up, rubbing his eyes. "What?" "Yesterday, you charged me $10. Can you remind me why?" Ryan looked confused, like he'd forgotten. "Because I helped you move that bookshelf thing, and I didn't want to do it." There it was, clear as day. "You didn't want to do it," I repeated. "Yeah, so I charged you for my time. That's fair." "Okay, just wanted to confirm that was the reason." I walked away, went to the kitchen, started making lunch. But inside, I was done, completely done. Ryan went back to napping, didn't ask where I'd been, didn't ask about the toilet, didn't care. I ate lunch alone, thinking about everything. I thought about my pregnancy, about how I'd been doing this mostly alone. Doctor appointments by myself because Ryan was too busy at work. Setting up the nursery by myself because Ryan said he'd help later. Shopping for baby things by myself because Ryan said we had plenty of time. I thought about labor, about giving birth. Would Ryan be there? Or would he charge me for his time in the delivery room? I thought about after the baby came, about sleepless nights, dirty diapers, feeding schedules. Would Ryan help? Or would he keep a running tab of everything he did and present me with a bill? The thought made me sick. That evening, my sister called. "Hey, Mike told me he helped you today. Said Ryan was busy?" "Yeah, too tired apparently." "Too tired to help his pregnant wife?" "Apparently." I could hear the anger in my sister's voice. "Jess, that's not okay." "I know. What's going on with him?" So I told her. Everything. The $10 yesterday. The refusal to help today. The nap while I was out getting the toilet. My sister was quiet for a long moment. Jess, this is a pattern. You know that, right? I know. This isn't normal. This isn't how husbands treat their wives, especially pregnant wives. I know. What are you going to do? That was the question. What was I going to do? I don't know yet. But I can't keep living like this. We talked for another hour. My sister reminded me that I deserved better, that the baby deserved better. She was right. I knew she was right. That night, I brought it up to Ryan. He was on his phone, scrolling through whatever. We need to talk, I said. He didn't look up. About what? About yesterday. About the $10. What about it? It really hurt my feelings. Ryan finally looked up. Why? You made $40. I helped. I took 10. You still made 30. That's fair. Fair? Ryan, I'm your wife. I'm pregnant with your baby, and you charged me for 5 minutes of help. So? I didn't want to do it. My time is valuable. Your time is valuable, but mine isn't? That's not what I said. That's exactly what you said. You value your time at $10 for 5 minutes. What about my time? What about everything I do? Ryan looked annoyed. Here we go, the everything I do speech. I cook, I clean, I do laundry, I'm growing your child inside my body, and you've never once offered to pay me for my time. That's different. How is it different? Because that's just normal stuff, household stuff. And helping your pregnant wife move something isn't normal stuff? Ryan didn't have an answer for that. And today, I continued, I asked you to help me get the toilet. You said maybe tomorrow. But you weren't busy. You were napping. I was tired. So was I. I'm 20 weeks pregnant. Everything makes me tired. But I still went and got the toilet. With Mike's help. Because it needed to be done. I said maybe tomorrow. Ryan, do you hear yourself? You're making excuses. You're treating our marriage like a business transaction. Like we're roommates splitting expenses instead of partners building a life. Ryan put his phone down. I think you're overreacting. Those words. The words that always shut down conversations. I'm not overreacting. I'm telling you how I feel, and you're dismissing it. Because you're making a big deal out of nothing. It's $10. It's not about the $10. It's about what it represents. It's about you valuing your comfort over my needs. It's about you not stepping up as a husband or a father. Ryan stood up. I'm not doing this right now. You're being dramatic. He walked to the bedroom, closed the door. I sat on the couch alone, again. But this time, something was different. I wasn't sad. I wasn't confused. I was clear. Crystal clear. This wasn't going to change. Ryan wasn't going to wake up one day and become the partner I needed. He'd shown me exactly who he was, and I needed to believe him. The next morning, I called my mom. I told her everything. The $10, the toilet, the pattern of behavior over the past 3 years. Mom was quiet while I talked. Just listened. When I finished, she said something I'll never forget. Honey, you're about to have a baby. You need to decide if you want to raise 2 children or 1. 2 children? She meant Ryan. I know, I said. What Ryan is doing isn't partnership. It's not even basic human decency. You deserve better. The baby deserves better. I'm scared, Mom. I know. But you're strong, and you have a whole family who will support you no matter what. We talked about options, about counseling, about separation, about what comes next. By the end of the call, I felt less alone. That afternoon, I made an appointment with a marriage counselor. If Ryan refused to go, that would tell me everything I needed to know. When Ryan got home from work, I was making dinner. We need to go to counseling, I said. Ryan looked up from his phone. What? Marriage counseling. We need help. Our marriage needs help. I don't think we need counseling. Well, I do. And if you want this marriage to work, you'll go with me. Ryan stared at me, probably trying to figure out if I was serious. I was, completely serious. Fine, whatever, if it'll make you happy. It's not about making me happy. It's about fixing what's broken. Our first session is next week. I don't know what will come of it. Don't know if Ryan will actually participate or just go through the motions. But I know one thing. I'm done accepting the bare minimum. I'm done being treated like a roommate instead of a wife. I'm done raising a husband while I'm trying to prepare for a baby. And I'm done questioning whether my feelings are valid. They are valid. What Ryan did was wrong. Charging your pregnant wife for help isn't normal. It's not okay. My dad called me tonight. My mom must have told him what's been happening between me and Ryan. His voice was calm but heavy, the kind of tone that tells you he's holding back anger because he doesn't want to make things worse. "Jesse," he said, "I want you to know something. A real man doesn't keep score with his wife. A real man doesn't charge his pregnant wife for 5 minutes of help." "I know, Dad," I said quietly, my throat tight. He paused for a second, like he was trying to find the right words. "When your mom was pregnant with you kids, I would have done anything for her. Anything. Without hesitation, without expecting payment or praise. Because that's what love is. Love isn't about counting favors or exchanging money. It's about showing up, especially when things are hard." "I know," I whispered again, because I didn't know what else to say. "You deserve that kind of love, Jesse," he said. "Don't settle for less." After we hung up, I sat there and cried. Not out of sadness this time, but out of relief. Because hearing those words, I realized how right he was. I do deserve better. To anyone reading this who's questioning their own relationship, wondering if they're overreacting, you're not. If something in your gut feels off, it's because it probably is. If your partner treats love like a transaction instead of a partnership, that's not healthy. That's not love. And if they make you feel guilty for needing help, especially when you're carrying their child, that's not normal. That's manipulation. You deserve someone who shows up not because you paid them or begged them, but because they care. You deserve a partner who sees you as their teammate, not their obligation. Marriage is supposed to be about unity, about weathering storms together, not nickel and diming each other over basic acts of kindness. I'm 20 weeks pregnant. I'm scared about the future, about raising a baby, about what happens next in my marriage. But beneath the fear, there's something stronger growing inside me. Hope. Hope that I'll find the courage to demand more. Hope that I'll stop mistaking bare minimum effort for love. Hope that I'll build a life where kindness isn't a currency. Whether that's with Ryan or without him, I don't know yet. But one thing is certain, I'm done paying for basic human decency. I'm done accepting crumbs when I deserve the whole meal. My feelings matter. I matter. And this baby matters. We both deserve better than $10 for 5 minutes of help.